Welcome back to Dino Racing and our journey to a Constructors Championship where we are playing Create a Team mode on F1 Manager 24. Now we've used the Newcomer storyline to begin with, so we've started with poor facilities, car, driver and pretty much everything else, so it's been a bit of a struggle so far. So although the goal eventually is to get a Constructors Championship, if you've seen episode 1 and 2, you will know that that's probably some way in the future. However, this time round, we do have a new front wing, a new rear wing, and we're hoping that's going to give us a bit more luck when we go through to race in Australia. So, let's get things started. Then we can check our inbox. We've got a few messages. Obviously, there's a few bits about our one-stop, our Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. What caught my eye, there was this highlighted one-stop there. So the best strategy was a one-stop. Although saying that, there was so many incidents with red flags, virtual safety cars. I mean, ideally, I think that there wasn't really a need to make any stops outside of the red flags, but there we go. So the rear wing is now complete. The front wing is also complete. So we do need to do a couple of things. I'll call these as red. We do need to go to our car. Oh, we did actually have quite a serious incident with Liam Lawson. So his car is actually missing some parts. Well, quite a few parts actually. So it's missing the chassis, the front wing. The rear wing actually has potentially some issues as well. So in fact, we are almost just replacing the entire car, but we can throw on a new suspension, a new chassis, and won't worry about the front and the rear wing because we've got the new ones coming. Although we do need to manufacture them, it's not going to cause too many issues. Now, do we not actually have... we do have... it's just suggesting that we've got an inspection failure risk for... whatever reason. No, we just don't have... have to worry about that. So maybe the underfloor is what we'll focus on next. Obviously, we've got a rear wing and a front wing to come out. Our gearbox took a bit of a beating, so we will put a new gearbox. Oh, actually, take that back. We will leave in that original gearbox as we go through practice. We do just have to remember that before we go into qualification, park family rules come into play. We will move on to our second gearbox, and we may do the same thing with the engine. Right, so that's car one done. We may well just do the same process with this car here anyway. So don't have to worry about that just yet. Sorting the car out fully. What we can do is go to car parts development, manufacture. What we want to do is we want to manufacture our new the CBR 24 FW2. Should give us some nice gains, hopefully. And we probably want we can run 4. That's 1 for each car and then a spare, and the completion date will be when the race is. So we might not have spares, but I'm tempted to avoid spending too much more money. So we will just run it there, because we will actually get 3, so one of our front wings can get damaged and we'll be fine. I don't know if this is going to run concurrently with the front ring. But we'll have to check. So this is, again, our newest version. We'll make 4 of them. That's expensive as it is anyway. And there we go. Now we can worry about designing and researching a new set. So still can't do any research for next year. But what we can do is start to look at what we could do with the rest of the car. So underfloor was one that we might want to focus on. Realistically, we're probably not going to get anything out for Suzuka. Let's have a quick look. If I run through the just quickly to see how fast we can actually get it. 22 days, yeah. So it would be a lot of money if we were going to run anything for... Oh, maybe we could get one. Now, if we went for Suzuka, we could get one for whoever our lead driver is. But either way, medium speed. Suzuka, China, both pretty valuable. Now it goes down to low speed on cornering for Miami. Obviously too late for Melbourne, regardless of what we do. Okay, so I think we will work on a new underfloor, work on a new suspension. And I probably want to only use a third of our time on this. So we use about 2.5. Use 30 days on this. Because I think we can get one more part out of this ATR period with still a decent amount of CFD and wind tunnel hours on it. I think I'm actually happy to take a bit of lifespan out of it. So from 4 to 7 races, it might only lasts 3 to 6. Takes a bit of weight out, makes us a bit faster. I'm just going to bump up. The medium and high speed, since that is more of a focus. Obviously we've got Miami coming up, we'll have Monaco just after, a few races after that as well. That will obviously be more of the lower end speed, but we're trying to focus on the majority of the races we'll see. So we can put 5 of our engineers out. Oh, I could actually, if I do rush this, 16 days means we could get it well in advance of Suzuka, enough for both. So let's rush both the underfloor, and we'll rush through a suspension as well. Again, we want to save some for another part. Right, we'll only take one down, so it's 3 to 5 races. I think otherwise we may be fine. What we'd be doing there is upping our top speed but not our wilds. Leave it there, we get marginal acceleration improvement there. And we will rush it as before. We've got 4.6 million. So we are going to be fairly tight. We definitely can't do anything facility-wise. There we go. Those are being manufactured, the new front and rear wing. We will need to rebuild Liam Lawson's car once we have those new wings in place. But otherwise, these are just when they're going to be manufactured. So, not an issue there. We'll have that hospitality area constructed. We'll have the weather center upgrade as well. probably not going to be particularly useful in Australia, but that weather is going to become, although the insight into the weather is going to become particularly important when we go through the European phase of races. So I don't think we need to do anything else just yet. We can start progressing through. Oh, here we go. This is what I was expecting to see. This is the strategy prep from Marco, our sporting director. And he's saying it's a fairly balanced circuit. Safety car 50% of the time. Average pit lane time loss is about 21 seconds. That goes down to 12 if it's under safety car. And it's going to be warm, as it typically is in Australia, and they're not expecting rain, so it should be dry racing throughout the weekend. Expected pit stop strategy is a 2-stop, which is fine. Pit stops were okay last time around in the race, although I said so many red flags it didn't really play into strategy too much. And that's James coming back to say our car part manufacturing is done, so we can go to the front wing and we can change our design. We can put front wing number 2 on. Well, actually install it on both cars. And our rear wing, we can change it for both cars as well. Although we can't do anything about our underfloor just yet. Again, like I said, we'll leave those as they are, their current damaged format. It didn't have a massive impact on our car, so 17th and 18th still. I think before we put them on, they were pretty bad anyway. So high speed, we're now 14th. That's pretty good. So, race targets. Now it's actually, I think that's dropped the targets. Before we were only looking at, maybe it was there. But anyway, Liam Lawson, bad time last time. Do we think he can make a comeback? I think I'm fairly desperate for the money, so I think we'll go Lawson 20th. We'll go Schumacher. Oh, actually, Schumacher will pick up the 20th as well. I will actually just guarantee to have some cash in, because I'm starting to be a little bit worried about the level of funding that we have.
It's wonderful to be back down under for the Australian Grand Prix.
But quick one into this one then. So we're at Australia. It's P1. It's cloudy both days across practice and qualification. Sunday only partly cloudy. So not in the clear yet about whether there won't be any rain. But I'd be surprised if there was. So, same as usual. I'll probably just flick back in at the end of practices just to show what's been going on with our setup. Obviously, if there's anything interesting that happens in the practice, anyone bins it into corners or red flags, etc., then we'll come back and have a look at some of the replays. Otherwise, we'll see you at the end of P1. So, we ended up just 21st, and I haven't checked in on the setup satisfaction, so 40-50%. So didn't really get close on the first time, and therefore that slowed us down a little bit, so we will have to spend a lot of P2 honing in those setups even further. So P2 finished, and we've got McLarens leading the Red Bulls, leading the Ferraris. Quite clear. Whereas Dino Racing, we're down at 19th and 20th. That's fine. We made some big improvements on the setup satisfaction. So 95% on Liam Lawson, 94% on Mick Schumacher. Track acclimatization, only 1% apart. We can, well, I suppose we're averaging 34-35% through each of the practices, so we will easily hit 100% for both of them, and with a couple of minor tweaks to the setup should mean P3 is a little bit more relaxing, and we can maybe hit some flying laps in preparation for qualification. And that finishes our 3 practices here at Australia. 18th and 20th, and we did pretty well in terms of setup satisfaction. So 97% for Lawson, 94% for Mick Schumacher. Acclimatization 100% on both fronts. I was hoping to get a little bit more out of Schumacher. Let's skip that. We can have a quick look at the setup it gave. It's still breaking his toilets. Now, I'm not going to mess around here with too many issues. One thing I did forget to mention though is Schumacher did actually damage his underfloor, so that's had to be replaced. But before I forget, we are going to use our second engine. Obviously, we don't have any concern with penalties at the minute because we have 4 available. I'm not sure if we could even afford to use a 5th one, 5 million a pop, but there we are, and we will put a new gearbox in. 1 million for a 5th gearbox, so that's fine. And in terms of this car park, we'll use an underfloor. Not too worried about that. We have a new underfloor being designed anyway, so we might as well make use of them. Engine, we're still going to make the change, even though the condition is slightly better on Mick's car versus Lawson's. So, there we have it. We're ready to get going in Q1. Now we'll run 2.
And green light.
We'll run 2 flying laps as usual. Try and minimise the amount of soft tyres we use, trying to fight in Q2. So both drivers have managed to make it out of Q3 once. Let's see if we can actually get both of them out. What we both in Q2. We'll see. Lawson goes out first. So shoot distance as well.
On as much work as you can on your tires now.
Copy.
So, we shall see if
Again, let's concentrate on those tyres and
it's good
brakes.
lap times.
Yeah, copy.
We'll have Magnussen and Sainz out ahead, and then Hulkenberg just behind, so we'll get some idea. Sainz will be well off in the distance, but maybe we'll have some comparison to the house. That'll be useful. Lawson starts his flying lap now, and then Schumacher. So we've got Ocon in the way on an outlap. Looks like Schumacher's going to do around quite the fast sector there in DRS, so shouldn't cause an issue. Lawson sets his time.
Okay, Liam, charge on the line. And charge on right away, please.
1.5
Copy.
slower than Sainz. I feel like that's pretty good. Schumacher comes in, 2.3.
Let's keep as close to 0 on that shelter as we can, please. Let's finish this lap and then we'll box, please. Finish this lap and then box.
So good for Schumacher. Looks like Schumacher lost, well, just everywhere, particularly Sector 1 though, half a second in Sector 1. Not ideal. Right, we can fast forward, get them in the pits, throw on a fresh set of softs. On both sets of cars. And we can wait a little bit. Quite a few cars haven't set any laps. Not looking good for Schumacher. Lawson's not looking too bad, so ahead of Hulkenberg, Ocon, Albon, Leclerc, very poor lap. Same with Gasly. But we've got some time. see when they're expecting. So a little bit longer before people are expecting. So we'll flood the track. We'll run Schumacher first this time. And then we'll get out Lawson. I'm hoping Schumacher can get a bit of a better lap this time around. Lawson needs a slight improvement. Got Zoe out behind us. When he's got an issue. Anyway, Schumacher starts. Taking a quick look at his lap history. Let's actually come out. So back.
8th currently. Normal in-lap procedures.
Copy.
Don't know when he said 8th currently. It looks like he's 20th.
Okay, so that's currently P18.
P18 for Lawson, so I think we can fast forward. I think that's us done and dusted in Q1. 18th and 21st by the looks of it. Not a good showing. The front and rear wing appears to not have made too much of a difference. Let's hope with a bit of strategy we can move up the grid slightly, but still away off the points. And Max Verstappen took a pole with the Ferraris, coming in second and third. There's still a lot of teams with 0 points, probably still will be at the end of this race as well. Strategy time then. So suggesting that this soft, medium, soft is the best strategy now we've got. Well, we should have at least 2 pairs of softs. We've got 3 softs available. We've got 1 medium. So we're actually fine tyre-wise. Slightly different approach suggested here for Schumacher. So run a hard rather than a medium in stint 2, and then actually run a medium rather than a soft right at the end. Now, more than happy to run different strategies. It definitely works. Nicer in terms of pits. We'll take a risk. We'll take a couple of laps of fuel out. We were told to be very aggressive to begin with, and we'll turn that off quickly as we settle down into stint 1. It's worth getting a bit of improvement when it comes to turn 1. Well, it's the first couple of turns, but turn 1 particularly is where we can make some big gains. Otherwise, I think we can get started.
Brace yourself for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So we'll follow Lawson, he was our lead driver, for all of a few seconds. Overtaken by a few cars there. Schumacher now in front, and fighting a little bit with Zoe. Potentially make a move on the outside here. And he might get that to stick because Bottas was a bit too slow at holding up his teammate. And Schumacher looks like he's flying now. So we got the Ocon in front, then Bottas. Sargent, who seems to have a condition issue already. I like the look of Zoe coming from behind. He looked exceptionally fast. But it looks like it may end here in these positions, although, take that back, Lawson with a lunge on Zoe makes it stick. Looks like he will finish lap 1 19th with Schumacher 18th, and
DRS enabled.
it's DRS train time. Doesn't look like we're
Gap
going to catch
0.2.
up with Ocon.
Came out behind us.
But Lawson is
Gap
at
behind
least
0.6.
hanging on to Schumacher, so hopefully they can work together and we can start to make an attack on Ocon, Bottas and the others before.
Okay, maximum focus on cooling down those rear tires.
Down the pace.
Okay, copy.
Preserve our tires a little bit. We do definitely have the scope to go longer on stints 2 and 3, especially with Schumacher, considering he's got that hard compound. We will lose out in time. Now, Ocon is almost out of DRS zone of Bottas, so we should be able to make a gain on him, well, now. And looks like we're both getting ready to make an attack. We'll maybe see how this turns out down to turn 1, and then we'll let them both settle into stint 1. It's definitely close. What I don't want to happen is Schumacher and Lawson to get caught up and let Ocon drive off into the distance. But it looks like Lawson's dropping back a little bit, and will Schumacher be able to make the most of this? Starts to pull alongside. He might make a move here. He's got it. It's clean. That was easy. Much smoother than I anticipated. So Schumacher up to 17th. Lawson is now 18th. It looks like
DRS
he's
disabled. DRS disabled.
Copy.
should be focusing on that. That's all. Making the attack on Ocon as well. So not a good first start for Ocon. But there we go. We'll turn down the fuel as well. We do have to manage that.
And keep going with the lift off. You're doing very good job. Keep going with the lift off.
Copy.
Otherwise, we'll be back shortly.
Look now. Now we're watching the action closely here. They decide to give it a go. And that's 16th place now. And it was Mick Schumacher involved. The opportunity's there. And up into 14th they go.
And we've got Schumacher now in his pit window. So his window, oh, he's you can actually turn up pressure a little bit
Yeah, we can pick up the pace attack.
as he overtakes Bottas. Well ahead of our trajectory for this. We can probably push this out towards the latter part of this pit window, where it might unlock running into a soft compound right at the end for some like pace. And Schumacher's had a really good stint actually, 15th at the minute, so he gained a couple of spots.
Phase updates when you can, phase updates when you can.
Starting to feel the frauds a bit.
But we don't have the same advantage, or he's not taking advantage of the same thing Lawson has, so he's still in 19th, although they are switching around a little. There is a bit of a DRS train towards the back end, whereas Schumacher's kind of 3.5 seconds in front of Bottas, just under 1.5 seconds on Magnussen. You have an overtake.
Here we are then at the 11th corner. Can they squeeze by? And the overtake is
Smoothly
made.
done. You can see how close this racing is right at this at the back of the pack. So it's Lawson 18th. That whole thing, so from 17th to 21st, or 16th to 21st, there the DRS train. So we'll see probably a fair bit of movement on Lawson and the gang around him. So still coming in nicely on the pit window, 12 to 18. So maybe we put 15, 16. We're still well ahead of where we'd expect to be with the tyre time. Though, if we just check what Lawson's times are, Schumacher's times are. We're actually still improving. So we don't have to worry about that too much. If we look at Lawson, he's having some quite slow laps. But there's a lot more traffic. Definitely a lot more traffic. Right. We do need to think about the optimal pit time. Let's have a quick look. So if we pitted now, we would come out dead last. Was it just over 20 seconds? I believe it said for pit time. Let's check some of the tyres of the others around us. So slightly different strategy for most of those above us, off on behind on the hards instead. But the rest of these, are going to start to pit soon, and some of the lead as well.
Management looking good.
So we're still putting a lot of pressure on these tyres, and we could probably continue to do so. What we do need to look out for is maybe when Magnussen, how far ahead is Magnussen now? Second. You need to kind of watch what they do. Do you just want to react? He stays out, and so will we. Well, he probably will, considering he's on medium, so.
Yeah.
So Lawson has overtaken Bottas. He's making his way up. I think we'll go. We'll pit in this lap. Shall we? Maybe we can get one more.
Get ready.
Okay, copy.
Phase updates when you can. Phase updates when you can.
Yeah, these tires aren't holding a bunch.
Oh, we are pulling
Okay, buddy, copy that.
behind a little bit, so let's set up this pit. Okay, so throw on a pair of hards. And we drive off.
Box, 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 box.
Copy box. Box.
Bottas stopped.
We'll leave Lawson out for a little bit. We'll rush him back in now, so for a good bit. Not terrible.
All clear on the exit.
Took 2.6 though. So it's good that we didn't get caught up with Bottas because we are faster, so we can drive off with
Currently.
distance.
Gasly in front. Gap in front, 4 seconds. Bottas is a car behind. So 3.5 second gap behind.
And these cars up front have pitted, so we're going to have a lot of clean air now.
Focus on that tyre management at this stage.
Copy.
Lawson is dropping off a little bit now. Let's confirm. Lawson will come in. .6 is what they managed to shoot back. Let's see if we can. No, not quite. Almost 0.4 slower. So 3 seconds, not ideal.
Cameras.
And he just managed to get out in front of
It went
us. We nearly got burned by that slow stop, but we will be under pressure from Bottas.
Behind you is Bottas.
We'll have slow tyres.
Bottas,
Slow
1.2
tyres, we'll have
behind.
cold tyres. That will make us slow, and he's already about in front of us. But we'll check back in after we're a little bit
And there's
into this.
been a slow pit stop. So let's take a look at the replay. Now we're watching the action closely here. It's certainly inviting.
So we just entered the pit window for Schumacher's second pit stop, and he just managed to overtake Magnus, and they've been going back and forth a little bit. He's had a defaults, but he's way back, so of no concern to our drivers. So we've got a 6-second gap to Hulkenberg, and then Hulkenberg is 21 second behind Sonoda, so we are quite far away, maybe 35 seconds away from P10, so not really within the running. We'd need something special to happen, but still, this is a massive improvement to be P14. Now, if we look at the rest of the drivers,
He has DRS.
we've got where is he? Sonoda on soft soda. Depends on what his strategy is. He may be going on to a slower compound after this. I'm hoping we can actually switch to the softs instead of the mediums. We're actually getting really good tyre degradation. So you can see here we lost 16 laps, so if we can hold off a little bit longer, we can potentially get
He has DRS.
softs. I think Schumacher's a little bit bored with being told he's got DRS. He managed to survive another. These are really heating up, these past 125 degrees then. Whereas Lawson's only got 103 degree mediums. Yeah, he's slightly better condition. His pit window, he's quite a way off his pit window. I'm not entirely sure he's going to make it. And to be honest, he doesn't actually need to make it, so he will.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
As just said there of the audio, we will drop the pace slightly for Lawson
He has DRS.
in order to
Understood.
make sure we last. Now, we are no longer trying to top up our battery, and we are having just to run neutral. We will use it to attack probably on our lap. What do we take? The next pit. Now, I'm guessing.
Can we have some feedback on tyres, please?
Starting to struggle with the rear.
We go, by the looks of this, we could definitely go a bit longer. Let us run around a few times. We'll see when might be the optimal one, but we need to make a change to that strategy anyway. So we've got Alonso, Albon going in.
Oh no, that's a slow pit stop there.
Albon slow, but to be honest, he's already in bad shape. Magnussen's just overtaken us. Oh, we have a safety car.
Safety car. Charge on. Stay close to the river.
This is the overtake Magnussen on us. I'm hoping a lot of movement there, but I'm hoping this is smooth and this isn't what caused the safety car. I was a little bit low. But it's fine. Slowing it right down. How many laps have we got left? Just under 20. I think we can get some softs run. I don't know if it's actually caught that in time though. Oh, that is unfortunate. So Lawson might be able to get in and out instead. He will go softs and hope they last.
And yes, we
Signs.
have. We've had a crash. What happened there? Now we're watching Carlos Sainz here. And there's the contact. And that's one surefire way to
Quite
put
heavy.
a dampener on your weekend.
Right, understandably upset. Hopefully he's fine. But he has retired from the race, so we are going to go forward one. Although, missing that pit slightly, will that cause an issue? We can watch Lawson come in. .9. So the last one.
Is he okay?
2.77, so it's still slow, but it's not as slow.
Through there, please.
To take the little wins. So we're on the softs, and as soon as we come out, we do need to.
Okay, so it's currently 18. And in front of you is Bottas.
We can harvest. Drive in the clean air. Avoid those curbs.
$20 laps to go.
So we've got Schumacher in 14. We've got Magnussen back here.
Okay, pace now, please.
He did pit.
Yeah, copy.
No curbs.
Okay.
Let's see if that's a big enough gap.
Ahead of you is Bottas, by the way.
It's not looking hopeful, if I'm honest. 2.559, so not a bad stop. We are, looks like we are going to lose 14th. That must have been close. Oh, it was just in front. Just in front. So Schumacher 13th. Dangerously close. We'll bunch up the pack. So who have we got in front of us that we need to consider? Hulkenberg, so Magnussen's teammate. Presumably a similar spec car to Magnussen, which we have probably being it all day long in Australia, so
Battery is full.
Copy.
not too concerned about that.
Charge off.
It's whether we can beat Ricardo and Tsunoda in the RB. Ricardo's only on the mediums. Tsunoda and many others are now following our strategy of going with the softs, hoping that this strategy pays off with the safety car, allowing us to get a bit closer to the end of the race. We are bunching up now. But there's potentially still a little way to go, so we'll speed up a little bit. Let the rest of the pack punch up. Maybe next. Will it go in this lap? Oh, do we actually have to unlap ourselves though? Yeah, whereas Ricardo and Tsunoda does not. So maybe we are not close to there we go. I believe that's a new feature for this version. I did play 23, took a break. 22 wasn't exactly what I was hoping
Safety
it was
car
going to be.
this lap. Focus on the restart.
So far there seems to be quite a big improvement. Partly because I skipped a year, but also because they do seem to have stepped it up quite a bit for 24. And handling the lapped cars is a great feature. Especially since it benefited us massively.
Concentrate on keeping the tyres warm.
Oh.
Let's look after these tyres just a little bit.
Copy.
Okay, mate, let's keep looking after these tyres.
Copy.
So the safety car is,
Okay, so the safety car in the last corner. Racing from the line.
well, just pause for a second so that we can get everything sorted. Now, unfortunately, post that safety car, I did actually have an issue with my recording, so we haven't really got the footage, well, at least the interesting footage post that safety car. Instead, we've got me furiously clicking through various pace, fuel, and battery options on lap 48. And what actually did occur towards the end of the race was a red car. A red car? A red flag. Now, the red flag did bunch up the pack as we had a standing stop, and it did lead to quite an intense battle with Ricciardo, so even more disappointing that it didn't record. However, one thing that was fortunate is that we didn't miss the first points for Dino Racing, so we did indeed finish P11 with Ricciardo just being us in P10. We had to push the tyres really hard towards the end, which ended up in us falling back quite a bit. So I did capture the very moment the red flag came in, and then otherwise it's on to the targets, which we'll see in just a sec.
And red flag.
So you see here, we did indeed hit both objectives. So Lawson at 16th with a target of 20th, and Schumacher also target for 20th place or better, and as I already mentioned, he did achieve 11th. So big improvement for Dino Racing, and we're moving in the right direction. Obviously, a few safety cars, red flags helped us on our way to 11th, but nonetheless, we're going in the right direction. Thanks for watching.